Naltel Malam, the Shlanding Kunjaro, the main man from the highest office in Marine Parade. Nyanchola musical is emotional. Malong for Gambian olonka ni musical nka lamoy ni nyamen na ba nindanga ni makoy nga nyanchola ni musical lamoy mbalati la kalo because it is very emotional. The lyrical content, of Nyanchola music, Lamoy. He's talking directly to the poor, innocent people of that country. Nyanchola music, a graduate, Jalibakuyatela University, because Jalibakuyatela Trako Dolbije, a Kamemfonia Trako Nyan Komanya Lamoy, Ikanalako Jalibaka Kumala for Jameranko. It is a mind-blowing one. So Nyanchola and Trako is emotional. Big shout out to Nyancho all the way. I'm about Uncle Ted, Investor Uncle Spanish investment was great. It's a family killing feed no show like back home. So Nimbotaje Sulani Kunjaro Kibari Dandane Sodajang. Pertaining to Adama Barrow nala IEC, if you want to prepare account for revising code, revising code after the newly supplementary voters registration law. But the opposition political party show albemone lamay account, revising code. Aliana mone Adama Barrow la manzakunda be strategy le pelekan toward revising code. Mina demanding Hitler le olajang. So new opposition political parties of many they are going to challenge details of the many demanding for Puruka Tandalako. This is the strategies in order to bring delayance Puruka any tangible evidential proof pertaining to the suspect foreign registered voters so many Adama Barrow Mazakunda is successfully inserted some of the list in the current voters registration list of Mayanakoya populace. Slanen Kunjaro from Marina Parade. I will elaborate more on that one. So nobody the second information of the calamity Walanyenti the Amie Bojang, the lawyer Mbodge. That is your resigned. Proka Amie Bojang usenu Bojang the sister in the defense lawyer. Moneba kunyen koma. And why? Around wala masakunda left a delayance nothing now. Usenu Bojang na court case in me aranko. Government ya appeal. Monadne left a delayance in nothing anje. Albino fana moila, tonight on midnight. So I got it. It's same mall men cover you could will in Kunjaro, this same mall of a city when it is funny. By the way, I welcome everybody. Sunny Kunjaro mo Gambia dingo bere 30, and it is not your march. So buddy, let's go to the main topics. But I've been trying to number last something because there are very important updates lebembulo kon menyanda deliver. Woman na follow due to circumstances, but not time the jam follow ko. Na be update ni ndira na sari na in this order number la I'll say hey Good. Yes. Greetings. welcome back tonight on Midnight. So, I'll be about when I may information on message knowledge anko. Money revising court. All the opposition political parties are preparing to bring any tangible evidences. Either it is a Supreme Court or High Court, which is not very clear, but I know there's a revising court pertaining to the current legislation or supplementary legislation of the coming presidential election. Now I remember no Slanin Kunjare na revelation or Charlie no months ago after registration on no 3 weeks ago pertaining to IEC, why IEC is still delaying to release the list of the voter registration on Mealongo, the recent concluded supplementary voters registration. When you indicating you go IEC ni Adama Barrow mafia group or a list of men so they try can at the best of their ability to insert to the current data's information on Mealongo as sort. How many of you remember that? Sulane Kunjarola information or don't. You can disagree, you can brand him, but take the most important part of his revelation. Add to your plan toward the coming presidential election. About nafaral opposition or Kalto Dema. They were sitting in the highest office general as NSG double pillar secretary general and dollar target 2031. But it's out on Marco Daniel after Banco Falen. The Adama Barrow Masakunda Nala Mafia, they successfully, not all, they were able to insert some of the non-existent voters in the list, current list of Mealonga Akeda. And then the information of Mealonga Akeda. The main man Veladundana Mo Mola. Greetings, Senior Condom, the Lion Man. But Janenga Jamfala demanding for Mola. Mola is one of the finest, brilliant Gambians. Alakaja TikTok altola, ala Kulmansia Facebook okono. He's one of the. I respect this guy. He's a guy. Me alonko. Sometimes, especially the time of me alonko, I was very sick here after. Or well before the 2021 presidential elections, or shortly before the 2021 presidential elections, he is always on the phone to check me whether Mark, are you okay or not? And that was a time. Listen, he's brilliant, and I'm not going to disclose that one, but there was a time na Musuningo Dole Fanaje Mealonko, he's badly need help in the Gambia. Listen, ala along kila along. Nyimboye wo Musunola interview jibe to mama, he reached out to me directly. You know what? We have to save those innocent people. So I'm not exposing you anyway, but this is the Momola. He's a very brilliant Gambian Mealonko at heart. He is absolutely a servant for the poor innocent people. Keep it up. Allah bless you and protect you out there. So yes, I fully remember his support. He sent a minimum of €300 to alleviate those poor innocent people. And they don't even have a dinner, you know. So, but back to the issues. The Adama Barrow Mansakunda and other criminals of these political parties, they were able to succeed by inserting some of the non-existent voters in the system. It is, you either take it or not. This information is from the surrounding Mbonya. It's one of the most tangible informations. And the information not 100% abega correctly, but 90% be even until many alam ko California ulo albina sila have online yung follow it. It's sonno mo kabala dale kabala mar sonno mo kabala no. So this is Adama Barrow Masakunda, he's able to successfully insert some of the non-existence list of the vote. The deliance ya soto janiba published few weeks ago. And then na opposition political party solo ngayon falen nga fole. Kidawaliwa. Avela bogaston sulanding kunjaro. But he know ko sulanding kunjaro information akamembe hoja besor because ngajele aka IEC la call nyinta kasi andi amdo men 3 weeks ago. Respect this landing kunjaro. Look, put some honorable names on my landing kunjaro. Abuka sick. So Adama Barrow Masakunda ye delance na natinuje wala nyiniko they were trying to insert some of the irregularities ila non-existent voters me anonka keta ko menken on 2021 presidential elections. Wala ne delance nyin natinuje puru kanaka wol doldundije anu nga jele ko nga nyimfolo nun kono being information on some political party should media ko yes, list of there are so many irregularities, and that is exactly the Slanding Kunyaro information on 3 weeks ago, and we will be reflecting. But it's I don't know what the target come about the most important topic about this one, the revising code. My information on for Kuno matter, so be able to but another one on the in advance. And then the same opposition political parties are about the Tarlal Nyato Jekotike Munelandali about the revising code. Monem revising code, the Adama Barrow Manzakunda and in IEC ibe formal produce lalie. The every political party member more many suspect a core. Well, they are non-Gambians. Ibe formula sana the number of forms ibe mensana IEC the amount imo indicate jamba ibe formula sana IEC and each member of form in sana wala menu ba fila ka indicate jeko nying Gambia dingo me wala nying mo me voters card so mange Gambia dingoti wala data solbe enter la form nyine bala forming be filled with detail, including the address of that individual, including the address of that non-Gambians or address of the Bikalajere. And then the passing on me along ko forming field. You have to be a Gambians with a Gambian sorties. Melancholy Gambia identification will indicate labala car field, and that passing in address has to be identified. Ala location and the address has to be need to appear on that paper. Melancholy submit letter revising code with the IEC. So I think every political parties and even the non-political party, even an independent candidate can do that form. They can buy a form and fill the details of the suspect non-Gambian voters. And I'll address her. But those suspects, many alongo the newly list pop list that the Adama Barrow members solamente ya insert. Album opposition political parties or asalongo Gambia address sort and then the compound number. The form received from the IEC, take it properly, there's no compound numbers. But the IEC la form will produce it is confusing. Alto opposition political party and then a compound number and so on the street names or the Gambia corner. But the women get an alto feel fall parita alias submit. The newly inserted names, many IEC insert, and some of you opposition political parties should more list on your soto. Now you add to the added, added data solmen collect. Kataka court ni chenenyi wala. Ale formal men produce. This revising code la duration on need at least, I think, 10 days. Pour court ya decide. nin court ba decide la ale document sol men prof submit the court nyimbe mentale ba review la the court Gambia court Adama Barrow na la mafia le men plan wala nyentiko. The reason why Mbodge is part of the same MPP lawyers, so many are going to oversee this. That's the, in fact, the motive behind Amie Bojang na lawyer based on the in a hearing date whatsoever meant fault apart. And this time he need to represent entirely for MPP government. So so whatever documents on Yinsila. So then court the information on Yimberisi with the IEC review. Around Mazakunda plan to me court now has to decide. Court the opposition political party solely molmen and name entire submit ya dealer. Court bina monekela wala and the court has to identify those people. Whether the opposition political party solely naming kina and the address of that individual, whether the location of fundament is authentic or not. And this has to do, the government need to act on this matter within 10 days. Within 10 days now to decide. So, other opposition political parties, to verification on a process in the Gambia, Malofali alone never, akaduration jeleta. So now the code, how many employees memorable than IEC bulu wala code nyimbulu to verify every individual name submitted as a non-Gambians to IEC and then this revising code. Will be number of employees to follow that process kata or compound telling you nominal soul to identify of that individual. May along with voters card in Soto Sunday is a non-Gambian to confirm. And then no information in a modern court within 10 days. Then the court in a decision on your medical bond data system on your color. Opposition, are you preparing for this one? A little more strategy about that. Forget it. Completely forget it. Around the mafia, they build a system whereby to verify those non-Gambian voters' registration on the internet Tesla. It is too late. The moment they insert these data, the people responsible to verify, to identify those people are employees of Adama Barrow MPPs. The Adama Barrow IEC, do they have enough resources and mobilities to verify those people, including for now the opposition political parties, so you are ready to give them any further financial support and mobility can make sure every detail's been presented, and here is the evidence and this is the proof. Proportional determination on Intakajiko. These are the non-Gambians and they are not allowed to vote in the Gambia presidential election. Nalma interal nyata le murnan kale afu sulanin kunyaro ko. Ekumo mevunun kunu wuli alam. Ala sulanin kunyaro kile wana di kuno. Ala the same sulanin kunyaro from 2021. The same sulanin kunyaro you never survive. I'm telling you, Mohamed Suso, Mejara Pakalini ni soma la majo mbakile ngana soma Pakalini me win because soma yana to move flamboyance ball, like fanike capital boy already. So the opposition political parties, ngajeleko, some of the UDP members are very confidential in terms of the information that you mentioned or the data you collect, which is completely different from some of the lists produced by IEC. They did it deliberately. I don't want to chronicle, they just deliberately did this. Deliberately. But they being able to target count. Revising court la proceeding. That's where they rely on Indulala. So if they were unable to identify those people, court case bill tanola nyade did as this is the judgment is going to be based on the evidence provided at the court. So it's more evidence on your. The government does not have any resources, while the High Court or the IEC, to identify those individuals and name it, including the address and then the compound number. Able identify. So this is where the government preparation which agreed to term and conditional. This is where they're going to target the opposition political parties. Many are going to contest to bring the non-voters registration at the revising courts. So slaning konjarok ngani samanang katandi opposition political parties all be well prepared. This is what you are going to face at the revising court. I hope majority of the opposition political parties will many data collect. If any information also that they will learn about the laws of the land and the revising court, you can be prepared to face this challenge. But this is well coordinated between the government and then the IEC, and this is exactly the cronies of President Adama Barrow, gonna coordinate. They're going to act according to the term and condition of member to the fable in order to insist. Let me tell you, Gambians, this coming election, this is the hardest battle of Kandahar. I need Adama Barrow government team. Better sit in the comfort zone, Jan. Ninga uninformed military. Some of them are just getting hard on me because they've been brainwashed by the misinformation. They don't even know the Adama Barrow, the mafias, being a mafia like me, la idea can advance every seconds. The Adama Barrow mafias, la ideas can advance in every week. They bring another ideas, they bring another strategies, these are the constant individual, the criminals in a daily life, in a daily struggle, in a daily earning is based on criminalities. Yeah. For their own survival. They are not in any interest of the Gambian development, but their main sole aim and objective is how to enrich themselves. Even after Adama Barrow government, it will have family, it is out of poverty. So this is the information from this land in Kunjaro. The most important information on Nyanda Mendila Labi will be still pending because communication on a lacked on what on investment time on the hiring tension of the created, So Nyenemo Adama Barrow na la IEC ila mol nyindi. Kule tutakomaning na information on insurance another jani 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock bisudo me fintla na ngana update nyimfanake. But Nyenemo information on the member the revising code. Alter opposition political parties so many alam kali revising code means shota. Alba prepare kan. Al salon kalbi in a tarlaje. I think the duration of revising code is not less than 10 days to determine. So, but I don't know about all the plan on to the recap of the stories. So, January will I go to Amie Bojang. A lawyer, I'm found Terry. Lawyer Mbodge. I resigned. Put Amita as her defense lawyer. Amie Bojang. Amie Bojang is a brother to Usman, Usain Bojang. Usain Bojang me along with ya mota. The Arabana la Masakundana la criminal, ye police altar. Many along graduated immediately. Ye la prepare la in criminal men kill a kumo for them. Ye la ideal be prepare ya landi in yanta newly recruit police men along they are newly graduate. Ye la posting ye la rostering in the to ye in atana mofla tombo kono. Deliberately more men along they are non mandinkas. inanata deliberately ye post lanindo anambara ona la masakunda la criminal on nata koteke ifongole la kido le chiketate o multa ye fa deliberately ka tandiko wolmu UDP in quality UDP in quality ofa mealan ko be doko la brikama era council le in fact yanko bala security la wote in connection with UDP with the aim and objective of ko niwa tre sontano yo taketano inana succeed the name published wala ala Allah works in a mysterious way. Allah buka tama mola kula kwete lafitetes membete sonna mo kono ngani kono lafte la plano ni la mofi ya fero Allah buka tama onyala mendi ata aka wala tama ni imajana da menke immediately anatna wulu kabano kine kono ana nyanjola nyintara ko wulolo alanatna wulu kabano ki kono même kena mama jabiti inana mobula ne wala kono men yalan ko false information di pertaining to mome yalan ko abe desperate ngala condition kono men keda usinu bojande imaja alanata na safe wala na ala look itebe menjibe ketebe minanjibe mbine la mola na audio la kana believe hadama de una la fero la hadama de una la fero so offended they can be clean. Don't have any hard feeling for anybody. Clean. But don't allow anybody to use you for personal interest or a group of individual interests. Don't involve in it. Be honest. Waladna Usain Bojang benu nyama be desperate with nyama ka found interview I mean indicate yellow because of our vulnerability in the condition on income. Alanat nanyi sundo multoni ko nyinga bekela UDP in quality. And the funny part of it, biri ko biri kama to mana. The Bojangs, these are the indigenous kombonkas. Many are ko kombon kolen ni ndata sukura ni biri kama ni buru food. Ni tujena na down ni sanyang. Bojang are the founding father of kombos. Masadi ngona kombon kola wedi no. Ibuka na mojo. Itole combo found ibukana na mojo very because anga na combo call shuttle ni mo man call it ba connect la with become a council pumbe yanko ba dabo nyen shut na nyaadile ani UDP nyanta banda no nyaadile for the rest of their life. This is the reality nime ko den kuma fala but in the am danyana several times ago. I don't need to repeat this because na the far right extreme so kana ja this is a bragging, you know. So Kitty Boyd. Adama Barrow Masakunda now is facing pressure from the international community, including the opposition political parties and many other. I don't know why still now the opposition political parties are not questioning who killed the cops. This is because of this statement. Adama Barrow Masakunda ya Boyd. The pressure from the international community based on the judgment from the High Court or the Supreme Court. When you question Adama Barrow Masakunda is now becoming a dictator. Wala the citizen ko yaja Masakunda ko operation of nyame molka miss molka deliberately by the office police ikaneka press release nyimbonde kaje ko nyimodo lafa. Data had when you love Faliketanyame, a similarity is coming over again, and the same people many along the same individual named Adama Barrow Bedokola, Nimu pressure from international community. Nimu pressure from international communities. And this is the pressure me along Kanyantabala opposition political party Cholbulu. Kadunia question Adama Barrow Masakunda la Cairo who killed the cops. Anga politician already. Not newly born politician he is very determined toward his way, and that is Taliban because an opposition political party should be. There are burning issues that are going on. They don't even speak about it. Who killed the cops can kill Adama Barrow in 2026 presidential elections. And the most important part of it, the unity the strength force from the opposition political parties. Almala fendel fana na holi la Gambia because they were self-exile la kona. Alibama mas nyininka. Intene mbambo be self-exile. So, alika funyola. Isa ina fana sisi na Gambia stream you visit. Manda position, you know, but it's a Gambia visit, you know. So, Nyemu preso te Adama Barrow la manza kundabulo kajeko. International community be preso ke kana kajeko. The killers has to be known. And then the judgment of me alonka delivered her. And then the evidence provided before the court. Yajelo ko Adama Barrow la manza kunda now abe mo fale kumase kan in connections ka make sure ka associating with an opposition political party like kajeko. These are violence. That was their plan. Allah works in a mysterious way. Not a ulu kabano dile. Not na mota ka identify me. It has nothing to do with politics. He's an innocent, like an angel. So all court in the case, Tasila, Adama Barrow Masakunda is in a very terrible situation to bring the evidence forward. Anala Masakunda wulolu. Inana sika wulia bali sata moleko ile tulie min beta ye coordination menkela finding and telecom whatsoever nonsenses inana moneke yo beta ya for media romana keno sila ya ko sila ngana 2026 presidential election on kana, and this is going to be a headache, or is going to be a biggest obstacle for Adama Barrow government. In an hour in case ni mambang, it will they have to appeal. Because if Malaf appealing the proceeding yet, because normally the court may allow appealing the Adama Barrow Masakunda, the more than 2 years of investigation, any evidence of men provide no within the 2 years. And then the court appealing na proceeding katanya men. And in the first case, la proceeding in Bukata Onyama. Now the government want to bring the alliance. In court case in Tabanna, the name presidential election of the Kaba. And you put all the data in corner. Alias safe to the Bank of England. Because they know as long as this court case in the proceeding be carrying, the pressure from the international communities will let pressure in the handle. And then the pressure may alonko the opposition political party should nyanta kilela campaign round take a mansakunda question who killed the cops. And then the issue may alonko the allegation by me alonko yalandi UDP come. And then the UDP have the right to in fact sue the Adama Barrow government for such a hilarious allegation toward their political parties. And then the worst ever Usman Bojang and his family have the right to sue the government. The maltreatment Bangkok. Bojang alive even right now is in danger. Also protect Nakal surroundings. Because Adama Barrow Masakunda, there's no way for them to win this case. This is a deal done. It is never happened. They will never bring any evidences. Meya Lonko. Hanate be sunya role like Usman ka moli Joe. Usenu Boja na surrounding. Purukata was a fake evidence in natina. Wala ka cloth in a so-called DNA test. You know, Meya Lonko ilaftaka introduce kodeke. Ka wala cloth sol natina ko ning ka make sure ko ning gun solmen and other particular solmen yalan ko yol tommo pro DNA analysis sol proof on the kata as an evidence to court. Ibo bekela to bring the alliances in this case for Janni election on Mbekela. Ning election of Keta Adama Barrow Masakunda win that the case will be dropped. Then Adama Barrow Masakunda Sina prepare to face another battle against Usenu Bojana family. And then Alibala Nako, how many cases have been pending? Many alonko ye Mansakundala kitindi, ye winda Mansakundala, Hansa Mansakunda Maula Kododo. They are just downplaying their dirty games against those people. Hansa Mela Kodosotono. even the people many along they are victim of Yajame. Some of them don't send any email akodo law. So this is the strategist. So the lawyer Mbodge is an MPP lawyer. They deliberately did this to recommend that lawyer to Amie Bojang. Kajoka Bekela Amila, Amila defense loyalty. Nin time the tumamena Isagasi resign before Amie and other people will get another lawyer to represent them. Look, it is just 6 months to the elections. So this case, there's no way Adama Barrow being fast track well before the presidential election. And put a Bank of England, America, and then I like Bank of America. I love the name Bank of America, But Bank of Scotland is one of the best. Allah put there, Allah marvel for posterity. Ning happened. I said, I for Sulan Kunjaro, willing Kunjaro, So this is the most valuable information Longamen should be. Sulan Kunjaro may not in a katandala. Better than about Sukuta, but I need to get back to Sulan Kunjaro because it's a very important information on the deal and many along go. I've been mobile look on a little more Tandila, but the question on in Kala, Falialan about the Gambia. But population very soon for mobile energy. So, nobody could get member for the let's go back to the cap of the stories. So, I know what in Talimala, follow. This is very important for the opposition political party. Be not Adama Barrow Masakunda no. So, any information get to me go false information on call a counter attack draw. But Adama Barrow is my problems. So, to the recap of the stories, the revising code, well, and see GAMBIA, the opposition political parties, all, Aliago IEC, voters registration, now release. And therefore, the opposition political parties are preparing for revising code. But I don't want to tell the revising code. No let a breakdown on it. I'll be a formula son, IEC. I'll be formula son. Each of an individual, many are known called Yafilico, they are known Gambian body, Gambian registration, voters card lesson. I'll be formula in a son. I think IEC is going to make a lot of money from that. I'll be fill with the details of that particular individual. I'll address and I'll house numbers in indicate la jere. Purukaje ko. Any information on Mendy is tangible. Whatever submit to the IEC and I don't want to run a criminal removal running. But I got caught in your face. But you have a very genuine lawyers also at that place. I think after submitting that this revising code, the documents on Adama Barrow Masakunda be monekela ila loyal member responsible would la be la monekela whether they have enough evidences or resources or mobility purukataka umola kodal nyintaka identified kataniko nyun mol men yalan kali ye nyinte la name sol nyintaka submit are they Gambians or are they living in these places, because that evidences need to be tender at the any reversing code put loyally in George Bisila Kamenta Kajibe Kataniko. This is the evidences, and we have proof that these are non-Gambian and they are registered. Whether the Adama Barrow Masakunda resources to do that verification, or the IEC or the opposition political parties are going to provide the mobility in order to bring those evidences at the Casamananka tender at the court. So Munebekela, I think the duration of this proceeding, it is just about 10 days. If government manner any resources or financial support or the number of employees in order to bring those evidences, Kataka proof, the verification on the monks sort of know within that 10 days of the revising court will make a decision on whatsoever information near final decision. They don't have any evidences pertaining to this social individual Gambian because he mala koranye locate no wala la koranye na yedamendo fukolo mala address to lado. Then the other opposition political parties will have any power in Sotono to cancel that because Koti Mendi, that's what they're gonna follow. Without those evidences of the compound numbers or addresses, Koye Molmen indicate ye. So it's all go biduwa. Najara ben fangu je as opposition political parties. So nina information linga mesura lebi. So let me go to information or cannot consider yama. Domandendro. I can't have you go. I can only consider information of bemu wuli you know. I cannot demand consider ye for the benefit of your opposition political party. So Mr. Drame. Mr. Drame. I love a lot for some political parties, you know. Na bena fala. Doku nyina jama beja bena fala. Ibe doku sotla because mansa kutawina. So most of them will get employment. So medana lejana to be. Nali badi malen stranding kunjaro from Marina Parade Banjul. Ansula da kukula drong. I'm on my boss. Malavika bon majam bar my fati amal by force yeah iko my fati amala certificate of masang for briefcase lawyer mali yeah sulanin kunjaro information mending about modu sise sulanin kunjaro dia mutawala Adama Barrow luwa mem boy late and I left a cow joke kodomena probably back off and then because money court case la final call begala my fati lawyer as a lawyer Vona dine mansa. Ako Adama Barrow ma any law violate what ladder. Amad by for Sibo Mola ko make a support. How by force? So it's a fana France bula France. How beautiful Paris is. You got like campaign or NPP. Well, I love the protocol official in French embassy. Ila foreign service la wala nimbaru masakunda sidi ko ala Canada but anyway Adama masakunda any opposition political party ya indosa ko kodol di la sola leadership nyin ka tinyala and ifana position also of GMC le so yora zela siasa do je nyancho la nyin trako about tollema so mbela na le jana you know so jani me okela do mbaranga nyancho bula ko rega aya conclude jana nyancho la music go mba conclude la ninjana you know I feel very terrible stuff man